The Prince of Philosophy, Baruch Spinoza. Baruch Spinoza is recognized as one of the most original and influential figures of modern philosophy. A thinker who lived during the political, religious, and intellectual upheavals of 17th century Europe, Spinoza created a broad impact both in his era and in ours with his radical ideas and way of life. His philosophical works, particularly his approaches to metaphysics, ethics, and religion, have left an indelible mark on human history. Gilles Deleuze described Spinoza as the Prince of Philosophy. This powerful expression reflects the depth and universality of Spinoza's philosophy. In the world of thought, Spinoza holds a position akin to a prince, both original and guiding. His philosophy of immanence, developed around nature, God, and humanity, not only transcended his era, but also laid the foundations of modern thought. Baruch Spinoza was born on November 24, 1632, in Amsterdam, into a Sephardic Jewish family. His family was among the Jews exiled from Spain. This exile reinforced their determination to preserve their religious identity. Growing up in a Jewish neighborhood in Amsterdam, Spinoza received a traditional Jewish education, studying the Torah as well as Talmudic texts in great depth. During his education, Spinoza developed a profound commitment to Jewish theology and philosophy, but also grew interested in the scientific and philosophical currents rapidly spreading in Amsterdam. This period saw Spinoza encounter Descartes' rationalist philosophy and the burgeoning scientific revolution in Europe, shaping his intellectual trajectory significantly. Spinoza's relationship with the Jewish community deteriorated due to his questioning of religious dogmas. His ideas about God, humanity, and the universe challenged traditional Jewish beliefs. In 1656, Spinoza was excommunicated by Amsterdam's Jewish community. This decision severed his ties with the community and prohibited any interaction with him. While the excommunication ostracized Spinoza from social life, it also provided him with a freer space for intellectual exploration. This period allowed him to delve deeply into his philosophical work. Earning a modest living as a lens grinder, Spinoza led a simple life for the remainder of his years. Baruch Spinoza lived a modest and humble life throughout his years. His workspace was filled with scientific instruments and manuscripts. However, his intense work and the physical toll of his craftsmanship adversely affected his health. The glass dust inhaled during lens making damaged his lungs, and Spinoza passed away on February 21, 1677, at the age of 44. Spinoza's works continued to provoke debate long after his death. While his ideas were deemed heretical by religious authorities of his time, they inspired many philosophers during the Enlightenment era. Thinkers like Hegel, Nietzsche, and Deleuze were profoundly influenced by Spinoza's philosophy. His concept of immanence established the foundations of modern philosophy. His philosophical approach radically redefined the relationship between nature, humanity, and God, leaving a profound impact on metaphysics, ethics, and political philosophy. His ideas focus on the freedom, happiness, and ethical life of the individual as a part of the universe. The cornerstone of Spinoza's philosophy is the relationship between God and nature. Unlike traditional theistic approaches, Spinoza equates God with nature. Through the phrase Deus sive Natura, God or nature, Spinoza asserts that God is not a transcendent being outside the universe, but the universe itself. According to Spinoza, God is an infinite substance, the essence and cause of all things, and all beings are modifications of this infinite substance, deriving their existence from God's nature. This perspective denies the notion of God as a personal entity who listens to prayers or performs miracles. Instead, God is the sum of the laws of nature, and everything in the universe occurs as a result of these laws. Spinoza's approach encourages a rational endeavor to understand the universe and nature. Another key concept in Spinoza's philosophy is his understanding of freedom. For Spinoza, freedom is not traditional free will, but rather the ability of an individual to understand their nature and to act accordingly. According to him, absolute freedom does not exist in nature. Everything operates within a chain of causality. Humans can achieve true freedom by understanding these cause and effect relationships. Spinoza argued that people are often enslaved by their passions and desires. This condition prevents individuals from understanding their true nature and creates a false sense of freedom. A person who acts through reason, however, can control their passions and live in harmony with the laws of nature. Spinoza's perspective provides a critical foundation for modern ethics and psychology. Spinoza's magnum opus, Ethics, systematically addresses the main elements of his philosophy. Written in a mathematical format, the work uses axioms and deductions to arrive at philosophical conclusions. The primary aim of ethics is to explain how humans can achieve happiness and freedom. According to Spinoza, happiness is possible when an individual understands their own nature and lives in accordance with this understanding. A person must comprehend their place in the universe and see themselves as a modification of God. This perspective allows one to recognize that they are not a warrior against nature, but a part of it. Spinoza argues that happiness is achieved, not merely through the satisfaction of individual desires, but through harmony with the whole of nature. Spinoza's concept of immanence is at the core of his ethical philosophy. Immanence expresses that God and nature are one and the same. Therefore, for a person to align with nature is also to be in harmony with God. This understanding forms the foundation of moral life. Spinoza considers morality independently of personal interests. According to him, the concepts of good and evil are relative and are connected to the laws of nature. By understanding these laws, a person can lead an ethical life and contribute to social harmony. Spinoza extends his ethical understanding into political philosophy as well. He believes that the most important duty of a state is to protect individuals' freedom of thought and expression. He advocates for a state structure that ensures both individual happiness and freedom within social order. This approach is regarded as a precursor to modern democratic thought. Baruch Spinoza's philosophy is a system of thought that asserts humans can attain happiness and freedom by living in harmony with nature. His views on immanence, ethics, and freedom are considered fundamental to modern philosophy. Through reason and logic, Spinoza has enabled individuals to understand both themselves and the universe, guiding them to build their lives on an ethical foundation. Spinoza's ideas continue to inspire both individuals and societies today. His philosophy reassesses the human relationship with nature, showing that a more meaningful and harmonious life is possible. In this sense, Spinoza is not only a philosopher but also a guide for life.